Good morning. This morning's topic. What bugs you about you? Habits, ways of doing things. Quirks. For me, I say one that does definitely annoy me is the reason I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. Because I woke up at 3:30. Couldn't get back to sleep. Got up, had a glass of water. Tried to go back to sleep. And it just didn't happen. I mean, I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night anyway, so I felt tired. So I suppose getting up at, 4:30 isn't too bad. It is what it is. But I often do that. It doesn't matter when I wake up. If I wake up, it's very unlikely I'll get back to sleep. I'm lucky in that respect. My partner's a very heavy sleeper. I swear she could sleep through, I don't know, a nuclear apocalypse. So yeah, that's number one. If I wake up, I'm awake, and the chances of me being able to go back to sleep are minimal. It's yet again one of the reasons why I'm a heavy drinker. I understand that past a certain extent it's not proper REM sleep, which I should get more of. But hey, it is what it is. I hate it when people say that, and I just irritated myself using that phrase. I hate my complete lack of tact. Morning, stomach. Which has on occasions got me into trouble. For example, an associate's girlfriend at the time had, I don't know, I'll call it wonky eye. And now, in my time, I've known several people with this condition, and because I know them, I'm perfectly capable of saying, I'm perfectly okay to say to them, are you actually talking to me? Or, because sometimes it can be quite difficult. And I said this to her, and because she doesn't know me, she took great offence, and I don't blame her for that. Not at all. but she reacted very, very badly to it. And to a certain extent, I mean, because I meant it genuinely, as in, are you talking to me? That was my query. So it's not like I went, oh, you got a wonky eye. But still, she chose to take offence when I explained matters very bluntly that I wasn't sure whether she was talking to me because of that eye. Oh well. So is it a fault? Is it a flaw? Always being bluntly honest, a lack of tact, as some people would put it, actually in some cases, an advantage. You make up your own minds. I dislike my close enough for government work attitude. I got that from the Mighty Jingles, a YouTuber I follow. Hi Jingles. Basically, I'm not a perfectionist in any way, shape or form. My partner is. She pushes herself too hard at times, whereas I don't push myself hard enough. And when it comes to my fitness level, I maintain a reasonable level of fitness. I should do more. When it comes to my crafting. Should we move this closer so we can get more light? Is that better? Repainted my shield a while ago. Don't think I've shown it to you yet. There you go, a bit more light. Atmospheric in it. I dislike the fact that I will quite often start a project, I'll get bored with it, and then it will get left for a while and I'll do other things. I wish I could focus and stick to one project and finish each project. I have a Tiger 172 scale model over here. That I've been working on for ages. It just really needs the tracks, some camo netting and the turret attached now, but I'll finish it. I keep using the excuse that modelling is a winter job, and we're about a month or so away from when the weather's going to start to get more autumny, wintry in the UK. So hopefully I'll finish it. I tend to do things in a very slapdash, disorganised way. What can I say? Yeah, picked up that skull mask for free, actually, yeah. Be good for Halloween. I'm thinking, because I've got a red cloak, and I could do the Mask of the Red Death for Halloween, maybe. That's a while off, October. September, October, but yeah, I like this. See, I'm getting sidetracked and distracted again, aren't I? But I've got one more thing to show you, one silly thing I found the other day. This is what I do. This actually cost me about a couple of quid, but... It's the proper classic faux Viking thing. I wish they honked when you squeezed them. Oh dear. Back to the subject I'm talking about. What else do I dislike about me? I dislike the fact I'm 50-50 on this one. I dislike the fact I find it notoriously difficult to fit into conventional society. There is part of me that just wants to be able to get a job, keep my head down, conform. Of course there is. All human beings want to belong. But then I realise inevitably, because I've had a lot of years of experience, there's no chance of that really realistically happening. So start to get myself dressed. We seem to be going through a period of heavy rain here in the UK. So I think my morning park walk is out of the question, so it'll be more gaming, which I shall start soon. Breakfast at some point. I actually purchased a pair of, talking about projects, but the excuse for not finishing this one is I need another item first. I purchased a pair of bellows. Proper yeah. Now, do need the leather replaced, which is going to be a major project. I have old sofa leather. I will wax it, possibly with, oh look, candle wax. Or maybe even beeswax to keep it supple, which is probably why it's split in the first place. I've got enough to do the job, and hopefully it will work out for him. And once I find an old posh barbecue that has a lid, I get hold of some roofing tiles to line the bottom, and then hopefully I can make my own little portable forge. Probably only be able to get it hot enough to smelt copper and tin to make bronze. But that's a start. I've always wanted to be able to work with metal. It's an ambition of mine. Hello, Alex. Hello, girl. Someone wants her breakfast. She's not getting it till after 5, otherwise she'll be bugging us for her tea. Hello, sweetheart. She'll be bugging us for her tea roughly about 4 o'clock this afternoon if she gets fed now. Well, she's an old girl, bless her. She's 19 human years of age. So she's very food focused these days. Leading back to the main subject, this is another thing I find irritating about me. I do not my diet can be terrible at times. I don't eat enough of the right things. I'm attracted to things that are bad for me. Yeah, that works on many levels, not just food. Coffee. I drink too much of that. I definitely drink too much alcohol. Are the two related, I wonder? If I gave up the coffee, would I need as much alcohol to settle down in an evening? Well, possibly not. Who knows? Well, I should imagine some of you will have an opinion on that one. Oh, now I'm thinking about the forge. I could possibly build a very small one out of the white bricks I have in the garage and some bits of slate. That's obviously not a project for today because I'd have to do it outside. I don't want to burn a hole in the floor. Right, yeah, sometimes my diet could be a lot better. On the rare occasions that we eat at the same time, when my partner feels like cooking, or I feel like cooking, and we cook vegan, because she's vegan, I'm not, I'm an omnivore, I will happily eat vegan food, some of which is obviously very healthy, not the pre-manufactured stuff, but cooking vegan food from as much raw natural ingredients as you can is a good thing. I eat meat as well. The other thing that annoys me about me, my untidiness. Hello, DC World. You have commented on this, I believe, the dusting. But, you know, I ain't got time to dust. And many of these ornaments, I would probably cack-handedly break them if I tried it. Dragon's blood, for those who are at all interested. The other thing that I dislike about myself is my lack of impulse control when it comes to hedonistic pursuits. I have an appetite for partying. Lucky enough, Sunday's party, thank you Synergy Cosplay and Paige Giles, whose 40th it was. I will end this on a good note, going off on a tangent, I think. But basically, Sunday night, myself and my partner went to a friend of mine's 40th birthday party. She's part of Synergy Cosplay, who are one of the biggest and I would say the best cosplaying outfits in the east of England. And it was basically cosplayers, friends, most of whom with Paige are cosplayers, and family. Yeah, just a little birthday party at a venue in Ipswich. And at one point, Sunday evening, I was dancing to YMCA with a Jedi, another random superhero, sorry, I can't think who it was, a stormtrooper, a Mandalorian, Pikachu, and Wolverine. Oh, and a guy who randomly found a construction hat, so he fitted in. I mean, I was wearing something that looked like a police officer's cap anyway. It was part of my post-apocalyptic raider uniform, complete with cheap motorcycle armour, off-roading, that I'd covered with radioactive symbols, and a couple of painted up Nerf guns, and a gas mask hanging from my belt. It was a surreal but very entertaining evening. Some of Synergy Cosplay, I wholeheartedly admire their dedication, the detail of their equipment is fantastic. It has to be said. the Stormtrooper and Mandalore outfits in particular were absolutely fantastic. And there was a Deadpool hanging around as well, which was cool. And a Wolverine, like I said. So yeah, but in the wrong kind of party environment, I have been known to go to various excesses, get carried away, and I don't like that. Mind you, drinking too much alcohol and getting carried away go hand in hand, don't they? Alcohol is there to skew or otherwise make disappear our moral compass. Certainly some of my worst behaviour has been on alcohol, and in the past, over 20 years ago, harder drugs. But that was over 20 years ago with that. So, you know, I've had a few people on my channel lecture me about levels of my drinking, etc. But I have been addicted to worse substances, and I've gotten over that. Yeah. I do have addictive personality. It's an issue I've discussed with the psychiatric nurse I talk to at least once a month at my local doctor's surgery. I am currently undergoing diagnosis for ADHD, autism, high functioning. Really, I just want recognition of the difficulties I have because of these conditions, and maybe even some financial help, as my monthly income, like I've often said on this channel, is practically zero, and I get no help from what is left of my family. When some help could be provided, I mean, I wasn't asking for much the other week. Just some money for food shopping when me and Michelle were really up against the wall. And that never arrived. My mother has early stage senile dementia, and I think under my younger brother's influence, who I don't speak to, has become very frightened of running out of money, which realistically, from what I know, because I'm not told much, I'm shut out of most of things. Hell, they even tried to shut me out of my own father's funeral 2 years ago. Well, my mother kind of did. You don't have to come if you don't want to. My partner is a psychiatric nurse. She was like, She came with me, and she actually sat there and held my mother's hand. Now, they don't get on that well. They don't see much of each other. So when, because of the timing of Michelle's payday and the timing of my phone bill, we have 3 months recently where I was late with it. And 1 month I was put down to incoming calls and texts only. And now my phone is kind of important for business contacts. I mean, I'm all right when I'm at home by Wi-Fi, because obviously I've got WhatsApp and stuff like that. But for contacting people like my mother and various other people I know who may be business contacts, it's phone only. And you'll get those irritating moments when you're out and about and someone phones you and they say, call me back or whatever, and you can't. And that bugs me. My impatience is a flaw I hate. It has ruined several things in my life. When I want something to happen, I want it to happen now. My partner gets irritated with me because she tends to do things at her own pace because she has a very stressful job. And sometimes I push her to the point of irritation. We need to go and do this now. I want to go and do that. And because she's not as forthcoming as she could be, a month and a half ago, there was a situation where I was chomping at the bit to maybe have another day out in Felixstowe, which is a coastal town within half an hour's, 3/4 of an hour's bus ride from here. Just to be by the sea because it helps calm me. I like walking down Ipswich waterfront by the quay and on the River Orwell there because I find that very calming. But the sea ultimately is the best one. And Felixstowe is the easiest access point for us because we have no transport. I have a full motorcycle licence and a full car licence, but I just can't afford to drive. And I kept pushing that. I want to go to Felixstowe. Because in early summer we spent a wonderful day together there. Best day out we'd had in a long time because we don't often go out together. Which has led to the belief amongst certain circles that, a very old friend of mine, you're not that old, Nigel. There used to be a running joke about 8 or 9 years ago where every time I'd turn up in the Swan, as it was then, it's now the Swan and Hedgehog, he'd be like, so where's Michelle? Have you buried her under the patio? She was always working night shifts, and quite often when she has a night off, she just wants to sit and chill. She doesn't want to go to a loud, noisy pub. Whereas I revel in loud, noisy pubs quite often. Well, I used to. These days I prefer a quiet mid-afternoon pint or so. Sometimes things can even start happening mid-afternoon. I'm spontaneous and unpredictable. I think this phases a lot of people. I'm the kind of person who will say, right, I know, after a couple of pints on a Tuesday afternoon, say, well, right, let's get loads of booze from the corner shop and go out to the park and party. Why not? What's wrong with having living? And that phases a lot of people. Phases my younger brother, I know that. My lack of organisation bugs me. I can organise other people, but organising myself, it don't happen. Right, my next project. Can I think of any other flaws that bug me? The fact that I can't grow a proper beard. But my partner wouldn't like it, so this is a compromise. I literally get nothing apart from a few odds and ends around here. And when I do, I sometimes forget they're there, and eventually it looks like I've got a pube growing out the side of my face. On that note, I feel good this morning because I didn't drink too much last night. A bottle of wine and a small glass of wine was all I had. And then I decided to go to bed at 10 o'clock. I feel good. I feel more awake, less numbed. I feel good. And that's important. Hopefully I'll find time to get stuff done, but I can't get that much noisy stuff done because Michelle will about midday be going to bed because she will be coming off a night shift at about 8:30 this morning. And it does frustrate me at times, and I shouldn't get frustrated because without her job, we wouldn't have a roof over our heads. It's as simple as that. And as I said before, on that note, have a pleasant morning. Ciao.